Hello guys, welcome back. Ohayo gozaimasu. Herzlich willkommen. So, brand new update on SMCI, Super Microcomputer Incorporation. Guys, so we talk about the price levels here. We are very close now here to reach the bottom of my liquidity zone. I will give you here a full chart analysis, and everything what I say here is of course not financial advice. I give you here my opinion based on the chart. If you're new to my channel, welcome. The main purpose is to educate you in trading. Usually I do that here by showing or talking about short squeeze stocks. Not only I show them, guys, I try to predict short squeezes here, and that's what I want to show you here later in this video. So first of all, let's dive here into the technicals for SMCI. I will show you here my drawings and show you why I think we are close here. Yeah, to see the bottom of a liquidity zone here, but when we drop below that, it could get really ugly, guys. I'm honest with you. This is not to scare you here. I just give you, as I said, or tell you what the chart is telling me. And I also predicted here that we see a sell-off incoming for Super Microcomputer. And there we are, guys. Yeah. So we have this liquidity zone here where I expect something to happen. The problem is that we have, of course, the stock split. When we enable for a second here our indicators, we know that they executed here a stock split, which is the opposite of a reverse stock split. That means 10 to 1, the price is going down and the amount of shares is going up. That means the amount of total available shares is now 10 times higher than before. And what does that mean for Super Micro? When we see here the technicals, yeah, I use here Fintel for that. Then we know that now the actual float is around 500 million shares, guys. So 500 million shares. When we see the float before the split here was around 43 million shares. Yeah, this is a quite low float. 500 million shares is not super big, but you have to understand, I know a lot of people waiting here for a squeeze or a bounce back or a bullish price action here. When we have a float like that, which is 10 times higher than the previous float, that means, of course, a short squeeze is still possible, especially when we have here a short interest of 20%. So you can see that based on the actual float, it looks like that the short sellers covered here some shares, but this is not true, guys. The float is has just been increased from 430 million to 500 million. That's why the short interest looks lower. But when you see how many shares the short sellers are shorting here, we still have a short interest of 100 million shares in total for SMCI. Yeah, and that's why, guys, now we are coming here to the bottom of my liquidity zone. So I think the bullish algos, yeah, and this is now very important. This is not, I say this is very bullish. Now we will see if the bulls are still there or not, if we have enough buying power to pump the price back up. Everything here between $33.80 and $23, guys, is the support zone for SMCI. What will happen? Yeah, let's first talk about the bear scenario. Yeah, it's not to scare you here. I just show you what the chart is telling us. So what happens if we break this price level here, guys? Yeah, we can just zoom out and see what SMCI did before we had this absolute massive squeeze. And this is very similar to Gamestop, guys. I released a lot of videos on Gamestop and also predicted the May squeeze from 2024. I also released something like a tutorial where I explained the GameStop short squeeze here on my channel. This is of course available, the video here. You can find that here by the end of the video. But this is very similar to GameStop. So we have here a very strong support situation, because if we would break down here below $23, then you can see there is almost no man's land, guys. There is no support. So SMCI had a very strong uptrend, a squeeze here. And when you have these kind of leg ups, that means there is no real support waiting. So this is the problem. So if we really should close below $23, the last point of support is somewhere here at $19, guys. I would say between $21 and $19. And when there is no technical reaction, or even we see a gap down here, guys, that is horrible, because the next point of support is waiting here between $12 and $6, guys. Yeah, $6.90. I don't want to scare you. I just show you what the chart is telling us. Everything what comes quick up comes quick down. But what we have here, so when we see the total price action here, it is not a perfect head and shoulders pattern, but you can see we have here something like a shoulder. Yeah, so here is the shoulder, then the head, and it is very possible that we generate here or create a second shoulder pattern. So for everybody who want to swing trade SMCI, so now I will also enable here the open gaps to the downside. And the market makers, guys, we have to be fair. The market makers always leave us some hidden signals in the chart where we could expect the price to go. And when you see all these red or the orange boxes here in my chart, that means that we have here a lot of open gaps to the downside, and the chance that these gaps getting filled, especially when the company is diluting, so we don't have dilution here, or an indirect dilution, because they did a stock split 10-1. So that is possible that the price is coming down over the next months, and that can even take years, but to close all these gaps. But what I said before, I expect something to happen here. I would say here between $12 and $7, guys. Here in that range, $6.90 here in that range. If we drop down, is what I expect to happen. I know you don't want to hear that, and you want to say, yeah, we're trading at $26. He talk about $7. Guys, as long as we don't break this price level here, $23, everything is still good. Yeah, we have this trend channel pattern here. This is a bearish descending trend channel pattern in which we are trading. But if we see our technical reaction, or even something like a shoulder here, then we could, of course, expect a squeeze here back to $46, and even $65 is possible for SMCI. The float is not in favor for a squeeze, but it's still in a sizable amount where I say a squeeze is possible. Yeah, so the best case scenario is that we come here back to the bottom. Of course, the market makers can create here one gap down overnight, a fake out to shake out people out of their positions to trigger stop losses. That is very possible that we see here one candle or two daily candles which even come back here to the $16-17 range. This is possible, but I want to see a bullish reaction here in this zone. And we didn't see those bullish reaction yet, guys. This small candle here is not a bullish reaction. So I said that I try to predict short squeezes here on my channel, and SMCI is a chance right now to see a squeeze. So when we see what is possible here from the bottom of this liquidity zone and the top of this trend channel, then even here a squeeze of 200% is possible. And this is of course just an algo squeeze, guys. This is not a short squeeze, but I always try to predict short squeezes here. And therefore, if you also want to see some, let's call it my finest selection of short squeeze stocks, guys, I release every Sunday here my so-called hot stocks. So when I release those videos, then I expect those tickers which I present in these videos to squeeze in the very few next days. There is never a guarantee, of course. And of course, I also cannot see the future, but I predicted here many squeezes in the past, and I just show you here my biggest squeezes. The biggest squeeze from October was this one here, one day after this hot stock video release. This ticker squeezed 854%, and in September we had even a bigger one. This was also one of my hot stocks, and the total squeeze here was in just 3 or 4 trading days, 1,400%, guys. Yeah. So if you want to see those short squeeze stocks, you can of course join in here our trading community. So the most popular membership which I have is the full package membership on Patreon. You can see you get access here to all my content, guys, and especially of course to my hot stocks. We're growing here every day, and every day new members joining. And if you also want to be a part of this community, guys, you can click here the info icon in the corner and can access my Patreon member link. So yeah, guys, my personal game plan for SMCI. This is not financial advice. I'm waiting here for the final dip. I want to see the chaos. I want to see the pain. The RSI, sorry for the bad pronunciation, is looking really good. We want to see pain, guys. Pain. And when we have this knife constellation here in the chart, then it's very possible that we're building up here something like a knife pattern, and the price is coming back as long as they don't dilute the stock. This is very important. If they should announce some dilution because they want to get some extra cash, which is absolutely not necessary in my opinion. We have here still $15 billion market capital. So this is absolutely unnecessary to dilute the stock. There should be the earnings tomorrow, guys. So don't be surprised if we see some volatility incoming. I can just tell you, based on the technicals, we're trading here below the trend channel pattern. We are coming here very close to the bottom of the liquidity zone. So if we see here a gap up or a gap down for the earnings overnight, guys, that would not surprise me. As I said, almost perfect here. I want to see a little bit more pain, a few cents, but everything here in the $23 range is worth it here to risk. In my opinion, this is what I do. And of course, the price goals to the upside here are all the open gap, $32. Then we have, of course, some resistance here waiting at $46. Here's one open gap, but even this, if we just talk about this kind of gap up, which is possible, we already have here a price action of 75%. Mark my words, guys, I have no idea what they will tell you in the earnings, and I also don't care. I just know that the chart is ready to pump as long as they don't dilute the stock, but keep that in mind. They could drive the price down massively here without or with a much lower float. So the float is now 10 times higher. Don't be surprised if we see just a gap down here and end up somewhere here in the $16 range or even lower. That's why, in my opinion, it's worth it to risk, but you have to work with a stop loss, please. Yeah, this is not financial advice, but when you want to risk trades like that, yeah, no risk, no reward. But here I would set a stop loss, because that can be that we come down here at $16 or lower and don't recover quickly from that. So guys, that was my update on SMCI. I hope that was helpful for you. If you want to copy here my price levels from the chart here, you can see the open gaps to the downside. Bottom of the liquidity zone is $23 and $33 is the top. And you can see all the open gaps here. These are the price goals to the upside. If you want to copy that, this is everything based here on TradingView. And if you also want to learn trading, guys, if you want to become a trader by yourself, you need a good chart program. That's why I recommend here always TradingView. I use that for all my videos. What you see here is called TradingView. And I can offer you a discount link. I am not sponsored by TradingView, but if you use my discount link, you save $15. And I always recommend the premium tier. This is good for beginners and advanced traders. When you click the info icon here in the corner, then you get access to my TradingView discount link. So, my friends, that was my update on SMCI. I hope that was helpful for you. If you like this content, if you don't want to miss any updates, please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my Gamestop short squeeze explained video, because there is also some potential cooking up. And being that said, yeah, good luck with your trades and see you in the next video. Arigato gozaimasu, vielen Dank, alles Gute, bis zum nächsten Video, danke für den Support und bis bald. Take care. Bye bye, guys.